But before I go out on the rooftop, I wanted to show you guys something. Lap Sao punch, and then you can step in and change punch or stay in a side neutral stance. But one thing it shows you in the syllabus, in the video rather, is just lap. Now if I just lap, that hand might not be there anymore. So you throw a little bit of a chun, just a little bit, see? So it's like, let me face the lens. Okay, so it's chun lap. Don't just reach for it, right? Don't just reach for it. Do a little bit of a chun and a lap. So from a side neutral, we're going to do it parallel arm. So side neutral, I can step to the side, lap, then step in and punch, pop, lap, punch, whatever I'm going to do from there, okay? So from here, don't just lap. Even if you catch the person like this, because as you move in, he may sense it and do a punch. So watch. You don't have to do a chun way up here, but watch. See, a little bit. So watch. Just to cover the line in case he pulls his hand back and throws another punch, you're there. Then you lap. So that's the one from the side neutral. Now watch this one. I'm going to chun and lap, releasing. I'm in a right side neutral. My opponent's in a right front stance. So we're parallel. So I chun, lap. That's the releasing lap. Okay? I can also attack and lap. So from here, I'm in the right side neutral. I chun, turn into a left side neutral, and punch wherever. Okay? So from here, chun, lap. Or I can chun and move away. So one of them is Pak Sao punch, Chun Sao, Lap Sao punch. Pak Sao punch, Chun Sao, Lap Sao punch. You see the difference? I'm blocking the punch from a right side neutral stance. I'm changing, Chun, Lap. But if I'm already facing that way, I use my rear hand, Chun, Lap. We went over that already. So the next one is Pak Sao punch. So it's Pak Sao punch and then roll punch if you're a beginner. If you're in a side neutral stance, you could step Pak Sao punch. Step to the side. It's a diagonal pak down. The punch is coming to my face. I pak down and punch. But this leg's in the way. The person can do a side kick and knock you off balance. So that's really too basic. It's better to just step off the line, Pak Sao punch. And then of course you lap Sao punch or chain punch. Or T-step, Pak Sao punch, and then punch. So the video does show this one. I'll start with this one. Pak Sao punch, and then notice I pak. I do a T-step, pak the punch down, and then punch with the same hand. So I'm here, pak, punch. So the drill would be Pak Sao punch, and then change. Now, of course, if you're more advanced, you're going to do something else, more intricate. But sometimes simple is better. So, Pak Sao punch, and then step back. So this would be the drill. Pak Sao punch, step back, because now you're practicing this footwork. So you're combining the hands with the legs. So, Pak Sao punch, step back into a side neutral. T-step, Pak Sao punch, T-step, back into a side neutral. Now you know I did the T-step this way, a T can be that way too. So it's still a T-step. Pak Sao punch, step in and punch. T-step, back to side neutral. The punch comes, pocket down, strike, throw 1,000 punches if you feel like it, here, and then back to the beginning. So this is a perfect drill if you have a class with a lot of people. So everybody can be in line and not be all over the place. So again from this side, I'm here, the punch comes to my face, I pocket down. I don't want to go past my sam, my center. So I'm here, pak, 3. And this is just getting you back into stance, because you would probably do this and whatever else from here, you know. But for a drill, you would get back into your stance, and it helps you train your footwork. So let's see from the right side neutral. I got my guard up here. Sometimes I hold it low so you can see my face. My guard should be up here. Okay, so the punch comes to my face, pock, punch, and back to the side neutral. My center is a constant. It faces there. Watch. Pock, punch. See? My center didn't deviate. So the punch comes, pock, punch. Because since I'm doing the T-step, this hand's going to be too far to reach. So this hand's closer to the target, so that's the one I would punch with. Pock out punch, and then come back to the T, or to the side neutral. So pock, punch, 1, 2, 3. Now here's what I would recommend. Pock, punch. See, I got my wusao here in case something comes. Then come back to the side neutral. So pock, punch, then come back to your guard. Pock, punch, pock, punch, pock, punch, pock, punch, pock, punch, pock, punch, back to side neutral. I show you this side here. Pock, punch. See, this is in my center, but I'm facing that way. So the punch coming to my face, I pock, punch. You can throw multiple punches and then come back. It's all up to you. So the punch is coming, pock. I can bring the hand up immediately, or I can pock and do it later. It doesn't matter. It all depends on the distance and the situation. So from here, pock, punch, and then come back. Now I did one punch. If you want to, you could do pock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come back. I'm here, pock sao punch, right? And then step back. Pock sao punch, step back. Or pock sao punch, and step back. So I'm taking a half step forward, but I'm moving off to at an angle. I'm not stepping into the punch. So I'm taking a half step forward. Well, it's kind of a tricky stance. It's not exactly a half step to the side, but it's kind of diagonal. So watch. So here's the line of attack. Here's my stance. Here's the depth of my stance. I don't want to go straight in. Okay. My phone's got a mind of its own. So from the front stance, instead of stepping in, you're stepping in but a little bit off. See? Okay, so pock sao, punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. Pock sao, punch, or pock, punch if you can reach him. I'm in a side neutral stance. I'm in a left side neutral stance. My opponent's in a right. Okay, let me see how I can figure this out. I'm in a left side neutral. My opponent's in a left side neutral as well. So, no, he would be in a right side neutral. My opponent's in a right side neutral. So I do chun to the arm and lop. So chun, lop. That's the very basic one. Chun and lop. Now the video shows just a lop. But I can lop and he pulls the hand back and throws it. So you do a little bit of you imply a chun. So lop. This is basic. This is for beginners. Lop. So my opponent's standing like this. He's in a left front stance. Wait a minute. Let me get this right. Yeah, my opponent's in a left front stance because I'm lopping his left arm because the right arm would be there. So I lop his left arm with my right. So it's cross arm. Yep. So he was standing here and I'd lop him to the side. So it's cross leg. I had to work that out in my head. So lop. Chun sao, lop. So you go and chun, lop down the middle. So if you want to look at it from this angle, chun, lop. See? I didn't swipe across, I just came down the middle. So he's in a left front stance, chin, lap, chin, lap. So from the other side, he's in a right front stance, I'm in a right front stance, so we're cross leg, chin, lap, chin, lap. Now, if any of you have Grandmaster's course, you'll see this. But if I just do this, he pulls the hand back and throws, bam, I'm hit. So that's why you want to go like, now you don't want to make it a gross movement, just there, it's just there, just in case. So you're able to interrupt your movement. Okay? Chun lap. Chun lap. So that's the releasing. This could be if he's attacking you. If he's attacking you, you would do this and lap. So now we want to have it where you attack. So if you attack, watch what I'm going to do. Lap. Lap. So his hand's there. If you can reach it, lap. Right? Or it's better to just go lap and take him away that way. So this is better for attacking. Chun, lap. So what you've done is you lap him and pull him to the side. Chun, lap. So let me clear that up again. This one is better if the person attacks and you release. Unless you made contact, you can do this, but it's better if you're attacking to take him offline, because when you pull his arm there, you eliminate this hand. Now let's go from front stance. He punches at me, chun, lap. So notice I did a diagonal front stance. So I envision a box here, corner of the box here. I'm in the center of the box. I'm going to step backwards to the lower left-hand corner. See? And then turn to the upper right-hand corner. So that's a releasing. That's a diagonal front stance. So he punches, right? That's one. Chun, lap. So I pull him past me, and then I can go in for the attack. So front stance, right. And then make sure you keep this in the center. So let me try the other side now. So I'm going to make a diagonal line in my imaginary square to the lower right-hand corner. Lap. Punch. So he punches here. I make contact. Step. Pull him past me. As he goes by, I pepper him with punches. Okay? Chin. Lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a drill. You can vary the drill. Okay? So now I can also use this to attack. So now instead of stepping back diagonally, I step forward diagonally. So the guy's, he's got his arm there. I time it, bam. I pull him to my left in this instance. He's moving around, lap, lap, lap. So I should be going here because I pulled him there, not towards the camera. So, chun, lap, chun, lap, pop. So, chun, sao, lap him. He's here now. Okay, so he does the punch. Oh, sorry, I'm attacking. So I chun, pull him here, and punch. So I'm going to be punching here. He was here. I pulled his body there. So I pull his body to my left and then punch where he is. Okay? Let's do it on this side. Chun, lap, punch. And then you go back to the beginning. Chun, lap. Chun, lap. That can mean pak sao punch, lap sao punch. Or it can mean pak sao punch, lap sao punch. So if you're being tested, do both. So, Pak Sao punch, lop. Now, if the opponent throws his right hand at me, because we're parallel, I'm going to block his right hand. If his right hand's still there, I'll lop it. But if it's not there and he throws his left hand, I'll lop it too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which arm he throws. I'm covering points in space. So, Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. I did that from a side neutral. Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. From a front stance, Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. As long as you're covering points in space, it doesn't matter. So you have to do it on both sides. From a side neutral, Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. I stayed in a side neutral here. The punch came, Pak, diagonal Pak down, punch, lop, whatever's there. Left arm, right arm, I don't care. Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. From a front stance. Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. Pak da is hit. Lop da. So that lop is really chun lop. It's together, chun lop. So it's in one beat, chun lop, one beat, okay? And one, chun lop, one beat. Pak Sao punch, chun lop. Pak Sao punch, don't just lop, because you're assuming the arm's going to be there. Never assume in a fight. There are too many variables. A fight is chaos. From the front stance, Pak Sao punch, lop Sao punch. This Biu Sao punch is a punch to your open side. Because if you do a Biu to your closed side, you're not going to be able to reach. Let me show you. A punch comes, my hand's too short to reach. So you have to do a secondary move if it comes to your closed side. But if the Biu comes to your open side, you can Biu Sao punch. So my Biu is in my center. Remember, the wrist bone should be two finger breaths past your center. Okay? See that Biu? I leave it here. When I turn, it's still in my center. So this is for a round punch coming to your open side. Biu Sao punch. So, very basic now. For the new guy in the group, just Biu and punch. So Biu means darting hand. Now I've had some people say thrusting, but when I was in New Jersey, we had a professor of Chinese from Beijing who was teaching me, Master Maza, Marty Munitsa, some other people. I didn't stay long enough, but Keith and Marty got better at me. But I asked him once about thrusting, and he said darting would be a better example because a thrust can be slow, whereas a dragonfly darts like this. So I like the translation darting hand better than thrusting because it darts out. So someone throws to my open side, I step off and Biu Sao. Now, this is very basic, but it can still work. It might be boring to some of you more advanced guys, but you can use this in a fight. Bam! Especially if you call off guard, you're standing here and somebody throws a punch, you Biu Sao and hit them. Okay? So Biu Sao and hit. Now the form doesn't show step in, do something else, do another technique. You can create from there. I just want to keep it basic to the syllabus. And as we go along the syllabus, we'll get more stuff. And this is good for me because I'm going to make a DVD on Wing Chun training, and I'm going to throw in stuff that's not taught generally. Okay, so here again, I'm in the left side neutral, Biu Sao punch. Then you change right side neutral, Biu Da, Biu Da, Biu Da. See? Biu and hit. Now, you're not going to stay there in a fight, but it's a drill. Repetition. You do things over and over again until you get it ingrained in your muscle memory. So let's do this from a front stance now. So I'm in a front stance. Someone throws a round punch to my open side. Biu and punch. Biu and punch. Biu Da. Just come back. And you'll be amazed if you do this 1,000 times, how it'll come to you naturally if you need it. And I really believe the simple techniques are easier to draw on when your heart rate gets above 160, 70, 80, I forgot the exact number, beats per minute, and you lose fine motor skills. It's going to be hard for you to pak, all that stuff. You have to keep things simple when you're in a fight. So there's nothing wrong with doing these basics because they can actually help you in a real situation. So I do biu da. Biu da, so let's look at it from this side. Biu da. Biu sao and punch, see? And then of course you're going to do both sides, remember, to be balanced. Biu and hit. Biu and hit. Biu and hit. Biu and hit. Say you're parallel, your opponent's in a right front stance, but he throws a left punch and you pak. So the rule is if you cross arm pak, you do a kick. So your opponent's in a right front stance, but he throws his short arm. Pak sao. Step in and punch. If he's too close, ideally, pak sao, kick, step in and punch. So from the side neutral stance, T-step, pak sao cross arm, front kick, circle land, punch. Then come back again. Pak sao, front kick, circle land, punch. And then come back. Pak sao, front kick, circle, land, punch. Pak sao, front kick, circle and land, and then punch. Let's do the other side. Pak sao, front kick, circle land, punch. Pak sao, front kick, circle land, and punch. Now if you're too close to kick, that rule goes out the window because there's no dogma. Tan sao and punch. Tan sao and punch. So remember, if a punch is coming at me really hard like this, I don't want to try to stop it like karate. So when the punch comes towards me, watch what I do. I spread to disperse along the blow. So the blow's coming here, I spread, like spreading butter on the opponent's limb. Especially if he's larger, you don't want to try to stop his force with your little bit of force. It's best to disperse. So tan in Cantonese is spread or disperse. So I spread, disperse, tan sao, and then step in and punch. So from here, tan da, step in and punch. Okay? Tan da, step in and punch. Or from here, tan da, step in and punch. So from here, the punch comes to my open side, tan, step in and punch. Notice I'm punching with the first hand, the closest weapon to the closest target. So I can also do tan, step in and punch. So I'm doing a T stance. Tan, step in and punch. Tan, step in and punch. Let's do the other side. Tan, step in and punch. Tan, step in and punch. One more time. Tan da, step in and punch. Basic drills, nothing fancy. Oh, I can also do it from a front stance. I forgot that one. So from a front stance, tan, step in and punch. And then come back to the front stance where you started. Tan, step in and punch. Tan, step in and punch. Now, usually when you do a tan, you do a jut or a lap or something. Gan is to plow. So in the Silam Tao form, we plow along the center. Just to train you to stay on the center. It's just like learning an instrument with keys. You have to have certain fingering or you play the wrong note. So by you practicing this here, it teaches you that when you turn, you'll stay here. Because the tendency for a human to turn that direction would be for the limb to go that same way as well. So you have to fight that tendency. If I turn here, see my arm swings out. It's not in my center. So that's why training the form, even though we don't fight that way, it gives you your fingering. Okay? So if you play piano, you have to be on the right key. I play trumpet. You have to be on the right valves. Otherwise you play a crazy note. Okay? So here's my center. I gun down the center. So watch. Let me do it. I have to do it this way. So a punch comes. I'm going to block it with the gun. Watch. See that? See? It's still on my center. Right? I didn't do this out here. So let's practice a gun sow. Let's practice a very basic gun sow to your open side. A punch comes. Gun and hit. Now you would never freeze here, because the vulnerability is that someone can slide up and hit you. A guy can be fake and come high. But you have to start someplace. So this just helps teach you not to flail your arm out, to keep it in your center line. So it's very basic. Gun and hit. Gun and hit. Ganda. See? Plow out. Ganda. And then you would change. Ganda. Gan is plow, da is hit. So, gan sao punch. Gan sao punch. From the front stance, gan sao punch, and then come back. Gan sao punch, and come back. Gan sao punch, and come back. Gan sao punch, then come back. And then you would change. Gan sao punch. Forcing yourself to stay in that center. Fight the tendency to turn to the left and swing to the left, or turn to the right and swing to the right. You actually have to turn to the left and swing forward. Turn to the right and swing forward. It takes a little practice. Do a couple more. Gan sao punch, come back. Gan sao punch, come back. Gan sao punch, come back. Gan sao punch and come back. Gan sao with the T step. Step in and punch. So the person punches, you gan, hit, then continue the strike. So, gan, in the center, strike, then step in and punch. Notice that my left hand hits, I keep it out there. I want to hit, use the closest weapon to the closest target. Let's do the other side. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 30, or 50. How many ever punches you want to do. Gan sao punch. I'm just doing 5 here. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since I'm here, I can do this from a front stance. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the other side. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, wrong hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to do that over. Gan sao punch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the person punches to this side. Gan sao punch. See, this is the basic one first. Gan sao punch. Turn to face the point of contact. So when we say face the point of contact, we don't mean with our head. We mean with our center line. So if the punch is going to come here, the punch is going to come here, my center line faces there. If the punch is coming here, my center line comes here. Wherever the point of contact, where that strike would hit me is the point of contact, and that's where I want my center to face in most cases. There are some exceptions to that rule. Okay? So the strike is coming to my rib cage on my closed side. Gan sao. Gan da. Gan punch. Gan punch. Now notice I'm not shifting. I'm actually stepping to move away to absorb some of the force of the blow. I'm not shifting in space, like in one space. I'm moving and turning because the fight is dynamic. Gan. Gan. If it comes this side, I just step. I don't have to turn to face the point of contact because I'm already facing the point of contact. I'm not facing the point of contact. The point of contact would be here. I want to face that point. So my arm is behind, my body's behind my arm, my block, okay? So, face the point of contact. Let's do the other side. Before I showed you, it's coming to your open side, so you're already facing the point of contact. All you have to do is step. Just step. That's all you have to do. Step. But if it comes to my closed side, I'm facing away from the point of contact, so I have to turn to face the point of contact. Now, of course, all these drills are, and you throw punches, but you have to start off with the very basic one.